Welcome to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts.
I'm Kristen,
And I'm Heidi.
and we are a pretty awesome duo. We're going to bring you some new takes, not new takes, another true crime event.
Yeah.
So, here we go. We're going to get started.
Do it.
This one's a tough one. Well, for us.
It will be tough for me. But only, I say it that way because I have no clue what it is yet.
Yes. So, on July 18th, 1984, in San Ysidro, California, which is a city in San Diego County.
Home sweet home.
The San Diego police arrived on scene to a McDonald's in San Ysidro.
What? Oh, carry on.
Call came out as shots fired, active shooter.
Yikes.
So SWAT showed up as well. The San Ysidro town is on the border of Mexico. San Diego County is the bordering county to Mexico from the United States.
It's the last stop to get your Mexican car insurance when you're driving across the border.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah. Fun fact.
If you know anything at all about San Diego,
you should know that.
Get your car insurance before you go to Mexico.
Yeah. And never drive a nice car to Mexico.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So we digress. Moving forward, this town is very close to where Heidi and I met. Also, she was 14. I was 15. We were in high school. In a place in San Diego County. We became fast, long-term, forever best friends, and here we are.
True story.
Yeah.
Very true story.
Another cool factoid is that my grandfather worked as a cop for San Diego PD at that time, along with a couple of my great uncles. And so I grew up hearing about this story often, and it is one I definitely will never forget. So, little backstep into the shooter of the McMurder, as it's also called. We are talking about the McDonald's massacre.
Oof.
And the man, we'll call him a gentleman, the shooter was named James Oliver Huberty. He was born in Canton, Ohio. So he came out of this little state we're recording in currently.
Well, we're nowhere near Canton, though.
No.
I tell you what.
But he was born in Canton, Ohio, October 11th, 1942. And when he was 3 years old, he caught the old polio virus. This virus was pretty tough on his body, but he recovered, although he did have some long-term issues with walking.
Yeah.
He was not, he didn't walk easily.
Mm-hmm.
And he had those issues the rest of his life. So, at the beginning of the 1950s, however, Huberty's dad had bought a farm in Amish country in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And Huberty's mom said, "No, I'm not doing that." So she stayed behind. They divorced, and Huberty didn't have a relationship with his mom. She abandoned him. Because she just did not want to live in Amish country.
I understand that, and especially the Pennsylvania Amish country, because it's a different world. Very different than the Amish country here. What do they call their language? Pennsylvania Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania.
I've heard that you actually like really should be able to speak their language if you're gonna live there, whether you're Amish or not. And well, good luck with that one.
It's a difficult language to learn. So since she had abandoned little old downtrodden James Huberty, he just became an introvert, not very good at socialization, and he was kind of a sad kid. His dad did remarry, and she had had some kids of her own, but Huberty never had much of a relationship with any of them. So not much is said about his childhood family.
There's a lot of trauma there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Unfortunately, a lot of these folks that we cover have a lot of mental health issues that are just never treated or dealt with. So as little old sad downtrodden Huberty got older, he did go to college, and he ended up getting a degree in sociology.
Interesting.
It's very interesting considering, I mean, maybe he wanted to learn about how people are, like, he didn't really get along with people, so maybe he wanted to have a better understanding of people.
I mean, that could make sense.
But it seems that maybe sociology wasn't his thing, and he ended up getting a certificate in embalming at a mortuary school.
Oh, that's very different.
Mm-hmm. Two different sides: work with people or work with the dead.
With dead people.
Yep.
And I know some people that would be real jealous of that job.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them, but
I mean, I wouldn't mind. It'd be pretty.
I know that you wouldn't mind for sure. It could be cool for sure if you get used to the smell.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think I could deal with that.
It's a different thing.
Nope, thanks.
Anyways, he actually met his wife, Edna, at mortuary school. So,
aww,
he met a fellow weirdo.
True love.
At the mortuary school.
Yeah, that's creepy.
They ended up having $2.
That's not very much money.
2 daughters, Zelia, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but maybe, and Cassandra.
Oh.
They all moved and settled in Massillon?
Oh, no. Never heard of it.
It's in Ohio. Massillon.
Well, now I have to look
Massillon.
it up. Where I need to see this spelling.
Massillon.
That could be said so many different ways.
I know.
I say words in Ohio how I would say them as a Californian.
Right.
And they're like, where? And I'm like, I can't remember. There was one in particular that I said very wrong. But
it happens.
I have to look it up now.
It happens. So, yes, they all moved. They all settled there, bought a house, and Huberty worked as an undertaker. In 1971, however, the family had to move back to Canton, Ohio, because their house caught fire. Not sure how, why, but what my research says is that caught on fire, they had to move back to Canton. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Canton, yes. So Massillon is not far from Canton, actually.
Okay.
It's very close.
Relatively close.
Yeah.
He did find work. However, he became a welder instead of sticking with embalming and undertaking.
I mean, if you're going to be a welder, I speak from my knowledge of this area. This is the place you want to do it.
Yeah, that's
because this area, the state of Ohio, and surrounding states are the steel capitals. It's where it all happened. Crack that beer. Oh. Okay, carry on.
Ignore that. We usually drink coffee or water, by the way.
But it's in the PM, yo.
We're in the PM right now.
It's almost 10 o'clock. It's past my bedtime.
We are burning that midnight oil again.
I'm drinking water.
She's better than I am. Anyway, so moved to Canton. He became a welder. Stopped becoming an undertaker. Said that both he and his wife, Etna, were a little bit of violent in their behavior. They had a little bit of violence in their behavior, like how they dealt with people.
So it's probably better that they worked at a mortuary.
Yeah, I think they should have just stuck with that.
Stick with the dead.
Not been with the living.
Yeah.
There was a situation that Etna one time told their daughter Zelia to physically assault a classmate at a birthday party. Not sure why, but she legit told her daughter, go beat that girl up at a birthday party.
That's disturbing.
And it was one of their neighbors, too. So, in relation to that event of the kids fighting, Etna then threatened the mother of that child with a 9mm pistol.
That's some hillbilly shit.
She was arrested, however, but the police did not confiscate that gun. So, the family kept it. So they held on to their weapon.
Don't let me go down the Ohio police force rabbit hole, because it'll get real ugly.
No, yeah, we won't go down there. We won't talk much about that. But
yeah. Carry on.
So, after that incident, another incident, this is James now, Huberty, he shot his own dog in the head when a neighbor complained that the dog had damaged the neighbor's car.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, not good people. They just had bad
Those
juju.
people are terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you hurt the
Clearly
dogs.
not very stable. If you're willing to hurt kids for no reason, animals for no reason, then there's no reason for you.
That makes you a psychopath.
Yeah. Also, they had a lot of domestic violence incidents. Kind of ran rampant in their home. Also, Huberty had a motorcycle accident which left his right arm twitching. So he lost another job. He couldn't be a welder anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can't really...
Gotta be steady. Gotta be steady, y'all.
Can't be twitching around
like,
everywhere.
Oh, shit. I screwed up my weld.
It's not very productive.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
So, fast forward to January of 1984, with him having lost his job because of the accident, having had all those incidents near their house, they moved to TJ.
Tijuana!
Or known as Tijuana, Mexico.
So fun.
During the day.
5 million years ago when we were younger.
Just during the day, not at night.
I mean, it can be fun at night if you're not a teenage girl.
So, Tijuana, by the way, if you don't know, it borders San Diego County, which also, on the other side of the border in San Diego County, is San Ysidro, where we find ourselves with Huberty getting a job as a security guard.
I mean, he's violent enough to be a security guard.
I mean,
but
dude, security guards really...
Like, I mean, where is he working as a security guard? Kind of depends.
Yeah, it kind of depends. But he was a security guard. He got that job in San Ysidro, so they moved to San Ysidro from Tijuana.
Okay.
And he got laid off.
Wonder why.
So it continued his spiral down into the deep abyss.
Hmm.
And His mood started to spiral out of control. The day before the shooting, he actually called a mental health facility to try and get help, but he talked with the receptionist and a doctor was going to get back to him, but she wrote down his name wrong and they never returned his call. So he actually did try.
That kills me because he actually reached out. He knew he had a problem. He knew he needed help.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't make it sound like he was in immediate danger. Like, he didn't make it sound like it was a bigger issue. He just wanted to talk to somebody.
But we all downplay our issues.
We always do. Yeah, everybody.
I'm fine.
So he did try and ask for help, kind of, but not really. And so now we find ourselves day of the big day.
Okay.
The sad day. On July 18th, 1984, the Huberty family went to the world-famous San Diego Zoo. It's a pretty awesome place. Yeah. If you haven't gone, you really should go. It's lovely. It's wonderful.
She's being really quiet about it. It's more than lovely and wonderful. It's fucking awesome. And it's the best fucking zoo you're ever going to go to. Mm-hmm. And that's not just me being, like, biased about being from San Diego. Like, legitimately, that zoo, I mean, you could spend a few days going there and see everything. It's wild. But, anyway.
It's a big, long walk with a lot of really cool animals.
A lot of animals. They're really cool.
So, they spent the morning doing that. He, his wife, and 2 daughters. And then they went to a McDonald's in Claremont. Yeah.
I can feel this deep in my soul.
Yeah. So, when we talk about things in San Diego, it does hit home a little bit because we know all these places. We've been there 100 times. Yeah. Claremont is a wonderful community. It's kind of in the middle of the county, but on the coast. So it's near the beach towns on a hill. And so they went to that McDonald's a couple hours before the incident. And at home, Mr. Huberty, at the ripe old age of 41 years old, started to get ready to go back out again. He had a talk with his wife where he had, he said something about society had its chance. Like, he was just...
Crazy talk.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a meltdown, and society already had its chance, and his wife asked him where he was going, and he responded, hunting humans.
Dial 911 now.
She did nothing, but we will get on with that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I mean,
dude.
Sorry, but if this girl's gonna, like, grab a few weapons and walk out the house and say, I'm hunting humans,
call 911, because I obviously need some freaking help.
Probably will tackle her and be like, no,
I mean, that too.
We're not going to do that today.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. He grabbed his weapons, which were said to have been a 9mm Uzi semi-automatic.
Holy!
A Winchester pump-action 12-gauge shotgun.
That's a sweet gun, but, like, yikes, stripes.
And a 9mm Browning HP.
Shit.
Yeah. He was loaded to the gills. And then he headed to the San Ysidro McDonald's.
Whew.
So he walked into the McDonald's with all of his weaponry, and at approximately 3:40 in the afternoon, he unloaded on the entire restaurant. The massacre lasted for 77 minutes. Huberty used 257 rounds of ammunition before the SWAT team sniper fatally shot Huberty. And unfortunately, before he stopped, he murdered 21 people, men, women, and children, and injured 19 other victims.
Shit.
There's photos of people running out after he was shot and just scrambling to get help and survive. So that was a heartbreaking day for sure.
Can you imagine being
Luckily-
called out on that? Like being called out on that scene? I mean, I can't even imagine being like one of the customers there that survived or got shot, but like getting called to an active shooting situation and getting there. You're never expecting that many victims. I'm sure that's a lot of people.
He definitely just took out a lot of innocent, wonderful, probably amazing people.
Yeah.
And especially all those children.
Babies.
So, luckily, the officers that responded took action and were able to stop the threat so that no further lives were lost that
Right.
day. Huberty's wife was questioned about her husband after the incident, and she told the cops about the hunting humans quote.
Right.
About how she asked him where he was going, and then the cops were like, well, what'd you do about it? Why didn't you call us? Like,
Right.
Why didn't you reach out and say, hey, my husband's about to
My
do
husband's
something.
acting
I don't know
real
what he's
weird.
doing, but he walked out of here with some weapons. He's about to go unload something on humans. But she did nothing, and she had no explanation as to why she did nothing.
Right. So sad.
It really is. It's a sad day for our history, our personal history. 'Cause
Right.
I was 3 years old when this occurred. And it comes in close because of my family ties to it. So, and just knowing the different locations. Now, this McDonald's was it was torn down, but there's a memorial.
Well, that's
there.
good at least, you know.
Yeah. So nobody actually really knows the motive behind Huberty's actions and the violent attack, except maybe he just was set off by losing another job
Right.
weeks prior, and
Well,
he just wasn't.
He was also in the midlife crisis, and let me tell you, if you're in a midlife crisis, just buy the Corvette.
Get the car.
Just get the car, okay? Don't go shooting people.
No, it's a better
Sorry,
option.
I'm trying to lighten the mood.
What was interesting, what was found out, is that Zelia,
Mm-hmm.
I think she was the oldest daughter. She was 12 years old at the time. In August 2016, she gave an interview for the first time, and it was like 32 years after the incident.
Wow.
And she stated that her father drove a half a block away from their home with his weapons. She said that she watched everything from her window since it occurred down the block.
Oh my gosh.
She stated, I had a perfect view of it. I saw the car there. I saw everything. I saw people I knew, who I went to school with. I wasn't thinking anything that time except better than me. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but as a 12-year-old, that's kind of the sort of thing you think.
I mean, yeah.
She said that if she could turn back the clock, I probably would have killed my father before any of this had occurred.
Shit.
Interestingly enough, after the incident, Huberty's widow, Etna, and the children unsuccessfully sued Huberty's former employer and McDonald's because she got this bright idea that maybe claiming MSG in the food was to blame.
MSG might give you headaches, but
yeah. So they said he regularly ate the MSG in the food, or the food that had the MSG, and several heavy metals he was exposed to as a welder combined to cause the violent outburst.
And that's everybody else's fault,
Right. Apparently. So, monosodium glutamate, MSG, was blamed for James Huberty's 1984 rampage in a San Ysidro McDonald's, which left 21 people dead, 16 wounded. These kinds of claims may seem like self-serving, desperate attempts to avoid responsibility for horrific acts of violence, but there may be some validity to them. These so-called defenses are nicknamed the Twinkie defense.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
But it basically, others have said that, like, junk food made me do it, or caffeine made me do it. These are all Twinkie defenses.
I think that's all complete.
I think it's hubbub.
Bullshit.
I think it's baloney.
Y'all have some violent tendencies, and that is not because of the MSG or the Twinkies.
No, it's because they basically want to blame others.
Also, especially not
blame
the coffee's fault.
No, it's not coffee's
Don't blame
fault.
the coffee.
Don't blame the coffee. We love the coffee.
Yeah.
They, tried to blame somebody else or get money for this due to that Twinkie defense.
Interesting.
And couldn't possibly just say Dad went off the deep end.
Yeah, but it ain't my fault. I mean, that's like the theme song for them.
Yeah, a lot of people, want to blame everything else on other people or other things, but not take responsibility for their actions. We all have choices. I'm choosing to develop a podcast with my best friend.
Word.
That's a choice.
Word.
I also choose to be an excellent mom when I can. When I'm not working.
Very true.
I'm still a mom, but...
You're still an excellent mom even when you're far, far away from home. This chick takes time out of her day to, FaceTime with each kid. Oh my God. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to post up some pictures with the episode as well.
You can show them.
But I have a couple. This picture has, throughout my life popped up and haunted.
This picture might make you want to vomit a little bit.
Although
not in the way you're
want
thinking.
His glasses.
I do too.
So there he is.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that comb over.
That's the guy. Look at that little bang.
That's a sweet comb over.
And then
little tiny bangs.
This other picture I have is the ambulance at the McDonald's, and then him side by side with a gun.
Shit.
Which wasn't taken the same day, but
what a piece. Seriously.
Yeah. He will forever go down as one that is just close to home.
It's stuck in your brain, yeah.
Will always stay there. I'll always know the name.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oof. I dislike him.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
And I feel for the families that are still dealing with the loss. It was an incredibly sad day. So I hope that everyone has peace.
For real. I know it would be hard to get there, though, after something so disturbing and violent happening to your own family. I don't think you ever really bounce back from that. So.
No, so everybody you meet in life, just be kind.
Yes.
Show kindness.
But
value people.
Don't just trust people.
No. Yeah, you can't just
make
trust.
them earn it.
Yeah.
But be kind in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So,
on that note.
Another episode.
You ready for a little happiness?
Cry.
Don't cry! You can't see our necklaces.
Oh.
Kristen and I got necklaces
backwards
in the mail today. And they have our names on them.
The witches.
Can't see them. I'll post a picture of them. It's got a little witch's broom on the bottom of each one and our names.
Yep.
They're really cute. Yay. All right. Is that it?
That's it. On
Ready?
that group.
We're going to go sleep or something. Maybe watch a scary movie first. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, you can find us at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. You can email us your stories.
At our Google,
please.
or
at
Gmail.
our googly,
at our googly Gmail.
crimecoffeeandcrafts@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram, Crime Coffee and Crafts Pod. And check out our Patreon. We have lots of swag on there.
You know the cool little like skull mug thing? That's our artwork.
Yeah.
We designed that, and
Yeah.
it goes on stuff.
I'm just saying, like, you just,
Kinda
like,
cool.
donate a certain amount every month. And in a few months, you just, like, get mail with
Kinda
our
cool.
logo on it, which is really neat.
And extra episodes.
That, too. Bonus episodes. And you get crafty episodes of, tutorials and whatnot that are not available to the public.
Because we like the art.
If you like to DIY, check that out. And we'll talk to you later. Ta-ta!
For now.